O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, December 1st, 2022. Stand up for your country. Got a number of important stories to tell you about. The Twitter situation is becoming a major news story in this country, and people don't really understand it. So that's why I'm here to explain what's going on. But first, I just want to set it up by saying I think most Americans are now addicted to their smartphones and laptops and cyberspace in general. And yes, it's observational. I don't have data to back it up, but I don't think a lot of people are going to say, yeah, I'm a phone addict, but they are. And you see it everywhere, and I'm sure you do too. And you may be an addict. I mean, you always have the phone, it's there, you're checking it all the time. And what is that power? Number one, I'll tell you that the people invented, the Apple people who conceived of this, they knew that this was going to be an addictive product. They knew, because it overwhelms people. It used to be, you pick up the phone, you call your friend, your family, spend 5-10 minutes, that's it for a week. Now, boom, 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 every 2 seconds. Drives me nuts, but I have to use it for work. No choice. Every time I turn around is another text or email that has to engage my attention. And I just don't have the time. Now I flip this off to a lot of my assistants and things like that, but it's just non-ending, never ending. And then there's the games, and there's the betting, the sports, and it just goes on and on. So Americans are now living in this world, this cyber world, much more so than they're living in the real world. So if you walk down the street, instead of looking at nature or figuring out what's going on and wherever you are happen to be, no, they got this. People walking the dog, I got to walk the terror dog a few times a day. All the other dog walkers like this. The dog. Now, the terror dog does not like, so I don't bring the phone out. But you know what I'm saying. Now, I think this has hurt the United States. I can't speak for other countries, but I'm assuming it's hurt them as well, because we have a distracted population. We have a population that's being fed stuff. They believe a lot of it. Every day I get letters. Oh, what about this? What about that? Crazy letters, insane stuff. And they get it from the net, okay, because they can put out anything they want. Enter Twitter. Is Elon Musk the savior? That is the subject of tonight's Talking Points memo. Okay, so Musk buys Twitter. And Twitter was an operation that leaned dramatically left. No doubt about it. That's what it did. And if you put stuff on Twitter that the leftists didn't like, you were banned or it got taken off, it got censored. Best example is the New York Post breaking the Hunter Biden story, the laptop, and Twitter just annihilated it. And then you have the COVID stuff. There was dissent about COVID and certain things happened that shouldn't have happened in the vaccine area. Twitter knocked it all out. So you can't have that when the population is dependent on the machines for information. No longer television and radio. Unfortunately, the primary driver of information. It is the internet. That's where it is. So if you have a powerful company that literally billions of people the world over use, and that company is run by leftists who are censoring any counter information or opinion, got a problem. Big problem. Now, Congress should have gotten involved with this earlier, but it didn't. So as soon as Musk took over on October 27th of this year, he fired 50% of the staff. Two reasons. One, ideological, and two, there are a lot of layabouts, people not doing anything, making decent salaries. I know people in Silicon Valley, it's a pretty soft life. It's a pretty soft life out there. So Musk came in, had his accountants look and said, look, these people aren't doing anything, we're paying them a fortune. They all went. The second thing was that when he took over, Musk said that Twitter is going to be fair and a champion of free speech. We'll see. Because a champion of free speech doesn't mean everything goes on. So there's so much defamation now, so much horror in lying and deceiving and manipulating. You got to have people there who know. I don't know if Elon Musk has those people working for Twitter. You got to have a truth squad. Very hard to do. I mean, I check everything out before I mention it to you. And then we source it, and then we tell you if we don't know, we say we don't know. Okay, or it's bogus or it's true. So anyway, just being an operation that allows anybody to say anything, that's not what's necessary here. So we hope that Elon Musk hires very fair and competent fact checkers. Now, on an opinion, as long as your opinion isn't defamatory, as long as it's not designed to hurt people, then I don't care. But if there's in the opinion an erroneous fact, you're basing your opinion on something that's not true, then Twitter's got to deal with that. Okay, third, as you know, Musk reinstated President Trump and others who were knocked off of Twitter by the leftists. 4, he wants controversial speech. Okay, that's fine. I do controversial speech. It's what I do. All right? But it's got to be responsible. And I'll give you a good example of the White House. It's incredible. Lying to the American people. This is just a lie. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. I care. Now, the left, generally speaking, opposes Elon Musk's takeover. Roll the tape.
The problem is that Elon Musk now is encouraging his users to cross the line, essentially, to become more hostile and potentially harass people more, so long as it doesn't break the law. And by encouraging people to cross the line wherever it is, this platform is necessarily going to become a more hostile place to hang out.
Well, I don't know if it can get any more hostile than it was before Musk took over. It was pretty damn hostile. Okay, I mean, I know. And these software companies, they're all leftists. And if they see somebody who's powerful, like me, they're going to try to take him down, or her. That's what they do. So that's just a bunch of bull. And there's a bunch of Congress people, including Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren's great. Gotta love her, right? She says, the deal is dangerous for our democracy, of course. We need a wealth tax and strong rules to hold back big tech accountable. Yeah, the strong rules would be, for Elizabeth Warren, you say what we say. Okay, Elizabeth Warren's a socialist. That's why she wants a wealth tax, which would never end, by the way. And so, yeah, she doesn't like it. The left doesn't like it. Toni Braxton, I like her. She's appalled. She says that hate speech under the veil of free speech is unacceptable. Okay. Has Musk's Twitter engaged in hate speech? I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, send it along. But Braxton, I guess, is a big liberal. I don't even know. I just think she's a good singer. So after Musk took over, the usual suspects came out and pulled their ads. Full screen, please. United Airlines, General Mills, Ford, General Motors, Pfizer, Audi, Volkswagen, the makers of Oreos, Chipotle. So why would you pull your ads if you don't even know what Musk is going to do? Because these are all leftist companies. It's amazing how many of them there are. Chipotle was really interesting. Chipotle said it pulled back its advertising on Twitter to gain a better understanding on the direction of the platform under its new leadership. Well, why do you have to pull it? Why can't you just monitor it? And if you don't like it, then pull it. Virtue signaling all day long. You know, got into this a little bit years ago, I was unaware of how many corporations are run by far left people. I was absolutely unaware of it. And they're in that zone where if they buy an ad on Fox News Channel or Newsmax or whatever, they're criticized. But CNN and MSNBC or the networks, they're fine. There's really something wrong with that. And Disney, we saw karma really kick in that company damage themselves almost beyond belief. And that's a memo. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Okay, President Biden and President Emmanuel Macron of France spent the whole day together. All right, and they got a big dinner tonight. I wonder if they're having frog's legs. You know, something about that frog's legs thing. I can go for escargot. I'm sure they'll have that. Frog's legs, though, I like frogs. Makes me a little nervous. But anyway, Macron is an important ally, and he's not a far left crazy guy. So okay, I'm fine with giving him the whole day, and that's what Biden did. Now here's the big lie coming out of the White House. This is just stunning. And I hope you understand the importance of the concept that the press secretary to President Biden has no trouble lying at all. Go.
We know the president's never been down to the border. The possible next speaker says that he wants him to go with him, so is he going to?
So look, he's been there. He's been to the border, and since he took office.
When did he go to the border?
Since he took office, the President Biden has been taking action to fix our immigration system and secure our border.
Hasn't been to the border. I mean, we checked it. Everybody checked it. Not only wasn't he at the border as president, he didn't go as vice president. He didn't care about the border. He's happy that as many foreign nationals as possible get into this country so that the voting patterns change. That's what the progressive vision is. Flood the zone. It's true. Everybody knows it's true. But to get up there and say the president's been to the border when he hasn't been to the border is shocking. Now, that should have been headline, Washington Post, New York Times, Karine Jean-Pierre lies to the American people. Because there's no other, it's usually I don't like to use the word lie, but this is a lie. He hasn't been there. It's a lie. They cared? No. Could not have happened even 5 years ago. Couldn't have happened. It would have been, the whole press corps would have went, whoa, what are you doing? Not now. That's how far we've deteriorated in this country. Gas prices going down. This is good for Biden. So why are they going down? I love this. This is from the Washington Post. Helping keep prices low at the moment are key U.S. oil refineries that have returned to churning out gasoline after months of being out of commission for maintenance and repairs. That's not what it is. Now, there are a few in that category, but not many. What it is the oil companies now don't have the regulations they did even a year ago. So Biden has quietly pulled a lot of those regulations. And they go from harvesting to making gas and everything else. And they go across the board. So it's easier to market fossil fuels because Biden got crunched in the inflation thing. All right, so the federal government pulled it back. But even more important is at the oil company level, is they go, look at this. Look how much we can charge. So we're going to quadruple our profits. So we're going to sell, we're going to pump and market as much as we can. That's what's happening. You know, if you have gold, for example, as an investment, and that gold spikes 50% in value, you sell. If you're smart, you sell. And that's what's going on here. Now, this is interesting. The largest decreases for gas, Alaska, California, Indiana, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Nevada, Oregon, Illinois, Michigan, and Oklahoma. Okay, so they're the ones that are coming down the quickest. Now, this is a terrible story, and I hate to report it to you, but it's important. So fentanyl is a narcotic that is more powerful than morphine, opium, or heroin. It comes in a little pill, all right? The drug dealers get the pills from Mexico. Mexico gets the ingredients from China. That's the connection. China, Mexico, smuggled into the USA. Because Biden has opened the borders, more fentanyl, as well as everything else, is coming in than ever in the history of this country. Biden doesn't care. Couldn't care less. I don't even know if he understands it. Okay, so fentanyl comes in a little pill, and the greedy drug dealers, because it's very, very addictive, they break the pill open and put some fentanyl in the heroin or cocaine or methamphetamine. So those are powders, all right? So they sprinkle the fentanyl in, hoping the addict, the drug taker, will become addicted quicker. And that's what they do, all right? And it enhances whatever intoxicated state the addict wants. So in LA, which is huge drug territory, LA County saw accidental fentanyl overdose deaths increase 1,280%. Thank you, President Biden. 1,280%. It's unbelievable. Okay? Last year, 1,500 fentanyl ODs in LA County. 2016, 109. Okay. So my contention is twofold. That President Biden is derelict in his duty, doesn't enforce immigration law, has opened the borders of the United States not only to migrants, but to drug traffickers. That's what I believe. I can back it up 50 different ways. If you sell narcotics to another human being, no matter whether you do it mass like the cartels or one-on-one, you're evil. Now that's subjective. Okay? The left says, oh no, the people who sell narcotics, they're addicted themselves, they have a disease. So we shouldn't do anything about it. And in New York City, they don't. You sell heroin, you're out in 2 hours. Okay. And you may remember the guy that was caught with 22,000 fentanyl pills about 3 weeks ago, they let him go. They remember that in New York. So last night I'm on News Nation with liberal Chris Cuomo, who believes the disease thing. Oh, we can't condemn them. Even if you're selling heroin, or no, disease. We have to get them treatment. How many times have you heard that? They don't want treatment, many of them. They want to get high. All right, that's their life. So then there was a back and forth on this between me, your humble correspondent, and Cuomo. Roll the tape. But let me ask you a question before we get to all of the flood of calls. So, fentanyl dealer on the street sells fentanyl to your kid. Kid dies. Okay?
Thanks for the
Fentanyl
hypo.
dealer is an addict. All right? Fentanyl dealer is an addict. We supposed to feel sorry for him because he has a disease when your kid's dead?
But I think that when you ignore subtleties, obviously good and evil are bright line distinctions until you start to get into the facts. A dealer who sends fentanyl, right now, they're prosecuting everybody who touches fentanyl as if they intended to kill somebody else. Is that going to make fentanyl go away? I don't know. Next call.
They're not doing that in New York. They're not doing that in New York.
But
Cuomo, as you well know,
you'll
there
see
was
the
a guy
pendulum will
caught with
swing.
22,000. Wait a minute. Your audience needs to know this. You just said they're prosecuting everybody with fentanyl. In New York, 2.5 weeks ago, a guy's caught by the NYPD with 22,000 fentanyl pills. Okay? He's out in 2 hours, and he'll never show up for his hearing.
But he's
a
being
cartel
prosecuted.
member.
He's
So
being prosecuted.
No, prosecuted what? He's out. He's not coming back.
He's out on bail. You don't know whether he's
Are
coming
you
back.
little Bo Peep?
Oh, here we go. You know, you called me that like 25 years ago, by the way. I'm glad I
All
still
right,
look the same.
let me upgrade. Let me
But
upgrade.
I just like that you're okay.
Little Red Riding Hood.
You're okay just demanding that reality is that Bill O'Reilly says if this guy got out, which is a policy I told you I think is flawed, that he's never coming back, and that's a matter of
But
fact.
you just said
and the
they're
guy's not being
prosecuting-
prosecuted. He's still being prosecuted,
I'll
but it's a
bet you
stupid policy to let him out.
$1,000 now. I'll bet you $1,000 now to Big Brothers Big Sisters, okay, that he doesn't show for his hearing. You taking it?
No. But I don't know that it's a matter of fact.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting back and forth. That's why I like going on that show, because the News Nation audience needs to hear another side of reality. And Cuomo's okay. I mean, he's a classic liberal guy. His father was a governor of New York, as you know. His brother was a governor of New York. They're a liberal family. But my take on this, I am 100% convinced, is the right one. Okay, I don't care whether some drug addict has a disease if he's selling poison to other people. That's not an excuse. Get off it. Go to rehab. There's plenty of rehab available. They don't want to get off it, generally speaking. If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family-owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So, don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no-obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Okay, the final thought of the day is I want you to relax this weekend, because you know you didn't relax much over Thanksgiving. You know, it was, kind of arduous, whatever you did. So this weekend is kind of, that's what I'm doing. I'm going out east with the Terror Dog, and the Montauk Lighthouse, by the way, is lit up. Fabulous sight. Going to go out and see it, and I'm not doing much. I have to do work. I always have to do work. I have to read. I always have to read. But I'm going to bring it down. And that is the final thought. I hope you do it too. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. New column Sunday noon. We'll see you again on Monday. There is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers, rewrite American history, and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are now being threatened by the most liberal leftists our nation has ever seen. They have failed to secure our borders, weakened our position on the global stage, are trying to indoctrinate and corrupt our children in school, and the list goes on and on. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the far left. AMAC, The Association of Mature American Citizens is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in the USA. I am a member, and I hope you will join as well. AMAC members have access to money-saving benefits, a robust website and mobile app, and a magazine filled with all kinds of great content. So please join AMAC today at amac.us and tell them O'Reilly sent you. That's amac.us.